I think Ready or Not, Here I Come, right? I was a little worried. What do you do with the sequel to that movie? And a lot of the movies exactly what you think.
Yeah, make the same movie again.
Yeah, it's a rehash of Hunting. I think people that went in expecting a different movie are dumb. And I thought what this did is because we knew the game already, we knew this kind of extra layer of lore. Spoiler alert, we knew this extra layer of lore, right? I thought they really added a fun, expansive world. I thought the lore added a lot to it immediately and not save for a gag at the end. And the finale of this movie is one of the most joyous, like, other than Iron Maiden and the Bone Temple, this is one of the most joyous horror movie scenes I've seen in years. I thought this sequel fucking kicked
catharsis.
Ass.
Yeah.
So, Sam, what did you think of Ready or Not, Here I Come?
I thought it was pretty good. I don't think I liked it as much as the first one.
Here we go.
I don't like the... Like you were talking about how they expanded the lore. I kind of don't like the expansion of the lore as much. I felt like they made it way too big.
But what do you do in a sequel if you're not expanding the lore?
Well, I thought it was going to be her dealing with the cops, and then realizing that these that these people had like ties in the cops and everything. And
you thought we were going to do Primal Fear, Ready or Not, Primal Fear.
Yeah, because the way it seems right now is this family is kind of its own thing. And it controls the world, but like through what means? It doesn't show you how it controls the world. It's just some magical thing.
It's a movie of its time, right? These magical elites, they get to do whatever they want, commit any crimes they want, and they magically get away with it, right? That feels very of the moment to me.
Sure.
Right? I don't think we need a lot of... And to me, if you're making a sequel, this is my whole point for sequels, right? In the 80s, we just made sequels because they made money, right? Mm-hmm. If you're not expanding the mythology or the characters, and you don't bring something new and adds a voice of its own to it, to me, there's no reason to do the sequel. It doesn't add. And I thought the mythology of the satanic cults added a lot more. That was the thing that was the tag at the end of the first one we didn't get to explore much.
See,
I thought they did a good job in this one.
I like the theory of expanding lore. I just don't like how they expanded it.
Wow.
I kind of agree. Yeah. I feel like if you're going to expand it, expand it. This was not enough. It was too small.
What?
Yeah.
See, I thought it was too big.
Well, it's in this weird middle zone, right? Because basically what we're doing is just a total rehash of the first one. Mm-hmm. And I like bringing in the bigger world, the broader consequences. Like you have that scene in the beginning where David Cronenberg's watching TV and it's like the Chiron
is the war in Iran or whatever.
No ceasefire. He's like,
World War III breaks out or whatever, and he gets on the phone. He says, he approved the ceasefire, and immediately ceasefire approved.
But
comes
it's like
up on the
it's
TV.
magical because it's like immediately. It's not even like went through the channels or anything.
I mean, it was kind of just a dumb joke.
This is a world where magic
I get
exists,
it. Yeah.
Right? This is a world where magic exists. So there's some magical kind of goofball shit. But I don't know. I feel like this movie hits right at the right time.
It does for all the reasons you're saying. It's just what we're going through right now is such a huge global phenomenon.
To blame that on one family is weird.
To 6 families,
to
5
explore
families.
that by only hanging out at this kind of small resort or another mansion, and we're just hunting 2 people. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of like, what really was the necessity of this sequel? It felt so, I don't know, tacked on to me.
Well, this to me is it's doing the John Wick route, right? Where the first one was John Wick, and we get a hint of the Continental, and we get a hint of this world, and then in part 2, we see more machinations. We see more heads of the family and this and that.
Give me 4 more of these fucking movies.
Is there anyone that didn't fucking love every single John Wick movie? I loved every single John Wick movie.
John Wick's different. I felt like
John Wick is the exact same setup this movie's doing. It's John Wick running around and fucking John Wicking people as we learn that there's a bigger controlling cabal in the world.
I felt like the first one presented a lot more terror and like actual fear.
The first one is kind of fun and games. There's no point in that movie ever for a second of that movie where you're like, she's going to get fucking murdered. So you are watching fun and games. It's a Rube Goldberg. How is she going to get out of this scenario? Right. And that's fine. Most horror movies you watch, you don't assume the heroine or the lead actor is going to die immediately anyways. Right? So there's never, to me, there was no real clear and present danger. The rich people weren't an actual scary group of murderers. They were kind of comical in their way.
The thing that the first one does really well is how are these people going to trip over their own dicks to try to kill her? Mm-hmm. And guess what this movie does? The same fucking thing. It's so boring.
Because it is of that fucking franchise. But it adds the fun stuff, right? We get to meet Elijah Wood, who is the lawyer of the devil on earth.
I did love Elijah Wood.
There's all the heads of the family now who are going to go through this, right? We have this whole like preceding lineage to who's going to be the head of the table. now that the board game magnates died, right? So now we're bringing in all these international families, and I thought the characters and actors were just so fucking up for it. They all knew exactly what movie they were making and were fucking incredible.
Just a sketch. It's a sketch.
But so's the first one.
No, the
first
one's
one's a
not.
sketch too.
I disagree.
I don't know. Yeah, I kind of disagree
with that.
too. I feel like up until they start exploding, it's treated much more mature. It's like
that's the other thing.
It's not much. I mean, it's the same kind of a gag game. It's a girl who's going to fight and kill rich people, and we know she's going to kill rich people, and we're rooting for her, and it's fun, and she's wearing a dress and yellow Converse.
No,
that's a sketch
they
too.
literally had her put on the same dress.
Yes, I know.
So it's
in the first
because she can't run in her fucking OR dress. I was like, I feel like that's way breezier. I'd way rather be in my. I just wore one of those with my cheeks out. It was great.
In the first one, you don't fully understand the extent of the danger. And so you're still
there's
trying
more
to
like
get your,
unfolding.
Yeah, you're still trying to get your arms around like what's this movie capable of? Where are we going to go with it? You know, what's the nature of the relationship with her husband, and is he going to try to bail her out? And how brave is she? What are her survival instincts?
Continuously throughout the movie, like she gets tricked. They kind of tried to do that with the Asian lady, but she didn't fall for it.
And it's like, we already know this. This is the hard thing with sequels, especially horror sequels, is we already know the game to this. And this movie doesn't really give us anything new to.
I don't agree.
Until the third act.
I don't agree. See, so here are the new things are we immediately see that this is a much bigger game, right? Mm-hmm. We get Cronenberg's family, we meet all the families internationally, we set up a whole new rule to the game, right? Which is now the game continues in a double or nothing. Whoever wins gets to control the entire fucking world. They are the satanically empowered ruler of the entire fucking universe, right? Which I thought was cool and hinted at this longer lineage of games, right? Cronenberg's family's held it for X amount of years. The Danforths, they've got to try. So they smother their dad so that they can be the ones fighting instead of their old-ass dad and keep this seat, right? So it adds this extra stuff. The thing I think in this movie really helped, I think her having her sister there really helped this movie out a ton. And I think it gave Samara Weaving so many fun moments to play in this that I thought were great. Because there's moments in it where I go, oh, this is wobbling. We're doing the same beat. Mm-hmm. It's going to lose me.
Yeah.
But the movie was so clever. Every time I thought I was going to lose interest in that, there was a new twist or a dynamic or maybe marriage, maybe this, that I felt like it kept me very engaged
the twist at
the whole
end
time.
Did get me.
The ending is good, but everything up to that point, it's boring to me. Because how many times do we have to stop in the middle of them, trying to find their way out of this place and have this whole like backstory conversation that's just over and over and over again.
That's Gen Z stuff. It really is, man. That's in every movie nowadays. People in the middle of life and death situations stop and talk
Gen
about
Z stuff. No, it's just bad writing. It's just exposition.
But I think people like that. I think they like that.
That's what movies do. So John, my writing partner, loves to always teach me lessons. That's his favorite thing in life, is to teach me lessons. And we were talking this week, we're writing a new movie, right? Like a really small contained movie. And we were talking about the Japanese concept of Ma. Do you know what Ma is? Ma is the concept of the still and quiet moments that add beauty because of the emptiness before the wave crashes, right? Before the big event happens. Weird. This is natural storytelling. This is how these stories work. And to be fair, that's how the first one works too. The first one works very much on this dynamic. She just didn't have the sister to talk to. Mm-hmm. But I thought that the sister and the two of them together were just phenomenal, I thought. And it added a really nice, her getting some things off of her chest, right? And it explained a little bit more about where she was at before she found husband and thought she was going to have this fairy tale life, right?
It was very shallow, though. It didn't really mean anything. Like,
well, what do you mean?
Well, like her backstory. Like, they didn't really explain it. She left the orphanage to go to New York.
They were foster kids. She got a once-in-a-lifetime scholarship. She went to New York to try to make it, right? The idea being when she makes it, then she can have the sister come, right? They can have the life that they did not have as children.
Yeah.
She left her sister in a foster home on the gamble that she would have a better life. The sister hated her guts for it, and they went separate paths. They hadn't seen each other in years, right?
And they never talked to each other for 7 years. And then she's her next of kin on the...
She's her emergency contact that she never changed.
Yeah, but dude,
who fucking changes their emergency contacts?
They would have found each other on Facebook. Like, this whole thing of, like, people
Well, they
not
talked
being
about
in
how the
communication.
sister was mad and intentionally didn't want to contact her. And she saw her in her Whole Foods before all the shit went down and just watched her and did not contact her.
Yeah, she obviously wanted to contact
Estranged siblings happening all the time, man. I thought it just added a little bit of, why is she fighting again in another game? Like, at some point, why wouldn't you just say, fuck this and just die?
It took them a hell of a long time to get over it, though. They didn't get over it till the very end.
Well,
I feel like after the first guy died in front of you, be like, hey, let's just be cool with each other now.
They're pretty cool together. They fight together and work together for most of the movie.
They're only cool with each other because the bad guys are so bad at being bad guys.
That's often how life works.
And hey, man, this would be fine if they didn't at the start of the script be like, these guys have been training every day for this for years. And it's like, have they? Have they really
They're
been
so
training?
incompetent. But that's the fun of it, is that we know that Samara Weaving and Kathryn Newton are going to survive to the end.
You know they're going to win.
Yeah, and
it's how are they going to win?
And so how are these idiots going to,
Mess it up.
mess up their own efforts?
Right, and it's the same as, and again, I see the critique and like there's not a lot of real stakes or danger.
Well,
but we know that like when we watch an Indiana Jones movie, we don't ever for a second think Indiana Jones is not going to win.
That's true, but that's a different kind of movie. Like the thing that is rough about this sequel for me compared to the first movie is that in the initial setup, the tension comes from what's going to happen at dawn. They all say they're going to die. How are they going to die? How's that going to play out?
Right.
And then when they spontaneously combust, it's so surprising and satisfying.
Yeah.
And then once you kind of blow that load, it just
literally, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're diminishing returns after that. So in a sequel, you've already played that hand. So what else you got?
Exact load.
So I did.
Well, like blowing loads, it's usually always satisfying. Like my 100,000th bust is not that much worse than my first bust. They're all pretty great.
But blowing the same load every time. Don't you want to experience some different
I don't know about you.
loads?
My loads are all the same. They're all the same.
I feel like
Really?
that's
Yeah, from
medically
a drop
impossible.
from a drop to
That
a
is
quart,
sad.
they're all the same, like 4 pumps, and it's like, and then you
But
take
it's
a nap.
not just the load being blown, it's the journey to get there. And that's what we want to be different.
I hate
Yes.
to say this, but in my old age, I feel like most of the journeys, there's like 3 journeys. Stranger, wife, hand. Those are the 3 journeys. So I got 3.
So
I
they
got 2
could have
sequels.
went with like the stranger in this one, but they just did the hand again.
I don't understand the critique. So give me an example of a moment in the movie that lost you, like where you were uninterested.
Well, like how we're all supposed to be like, oh my God, she just told her sister that they exploded and her sister doesn't believe her. And it's like, okay, well, we know exactly what's going to
That's
happen.
fun. That's a classic Hitchcock.
Why is that fun?
Because this is what Hitchcock said is suspense. It's 2 characters talking, right? That's not a movie. When you put a bomb under the table that we know is ticking and they don't, that's what makes it cinema.
No,
We have information that the characters don't, and that's
what you're
fascinating.
talking about is suspense, and that's what Hitchcock was referencing. I didn't feel any suspense in this movie.
No, because you know
All
that
we're-
she's going to find out. It's not like she doesn't. Okay, so if the cops, if she was trying to explain it to the cops, that would be more suspenseful because it's like, okay, we don't know what the cops are going to think. Are they going to believe her? Are they not going to believe
They
her?
wouldn't have believed you're just like her sister, didn't it? Who would believe this yarn?
The thing about this that is not suspenseful is it just repeats the same beats all the way up to the 3rd act. I mean, it's just,
I understand, but
it's
that's
just fight
almost
scene.
every single sequel you've ever seen.
Well, I know that. but-
Smile 2 is a great
No.
sequel. It repeats every single fucking beat just with a more interesting character.
I'm not saying it is necessarily repeating all the same beats of the first film. I'm saying it's repeating the same beats of its own movie. Like we are getting just the same 2 scenes over and over again. It's like something happens, they have to go run.
Right.
Then the fight happens, they fight. Someone dies in a somewhat clever way. We cut back to the other group, like, well, I guess I'm next up. And then we have a scene where then Kathryn Newton and Samara Weaving bicker at each other until someone else comes after them. We do that for an hour and a half, it feels like, until finally
And they don't
there's
really
an
try to
there's an
escape.
interesting twist.
They don't really try to escape, and they seem so competent. Like even like I mean, you are rooting for Samara and Kathryn, and
They're both great, by the way.
they're both great.
They're fucking phenomenal.
And they look like sisters. So
I thought the pairing of them was a huge addition to the
But
movie.
like even when they knew that we could hear your voice on the cop thing. It's like you guys are so much better than them at everything. It's kind of crazy.
Well, again, what I think this movie also hints at is the supernatural undertones, right? These are people raised by the richest, most powerful people in the world. Even if they're trained when they're young, there will come a point where they get all the power, and they've been in power so long, you're not going to train the same way. That was, I think I can't remember who it was. It was Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather. Someone said it's hard to do your miles when you wake up in silk sheets.
Yeah.
Fighters fight when they're broke and they have nothing, and they fight to the nail, and they train so hard to get it. And then you're in a mansion, and then you've won all the fights, and you have the belts. It's harder to get up in the morning and do those extra things that make you the most ferocious fighter on earth. I think it's natural that these people would relent a little bit. Like even the guy with the sniper rifle, they talk about like dad never does his fucking training.
Yeah.
Like how often this game in part 1 when hide and seek popped up, right? They said that had not happened in 90 years. It's impossible to imagine these people are training tooth and nail with all that power and resources for 90 years in case it does happen. They're satanically powered rulers of the world. They assume they'll be fine. They assume they'll kill one random girl.
But they're so jacked in the beginning when they get the text message and they're like,
because
yes,
they can
we've been
have
waiting
even
for this.
more power, and they assume they'll easily kill this girl again.
Yeah.
Like, why would these satanic rulers right now we are watching a cabal of pedophiles get exposed to the world, and they're like, oh, I guess we're all going to get away with it, right? Like, why would they fucking be scared?
True.
Yeah.
Why would they be scared? Why would they train
Well,
that
they
hard?
haven't met Samara.
I think you can put a lot of that off.
Yeah,
To
I mean,
me.
I get the point. Yeah, I just think it would have been scarier if they were more competent.
To me, it's like when you think of
agree.
like Raid Redemption, like when you go into like that building where they're all like broke drug people that are living in this fucking tower, and the guy's like, if you guys go kill everyone, you'll get free rent for a year or whatever. And that guy who's fucking jacked out on meth is like, I got a fucking machete, I'll go kill them. That guy's scarier to me than rich people who had training when they were kids, right? Like that makes more sense to me because they're lower on the rung. It would mean more to them to win that fight.
Yeah.
I think that part didn't bother me at all. And again, no audience members going into this movie expecting that the rich people are
I
going to
know.
win.
Yeah, I know. Did you guys ever watch the movie called The Hunt?
No, I missed that.
Yes.
I felt like they did a good job because the people were incompetent. They were kind of dumbasses, but they were good enough at it to where it seemed believable.
Well,
And
I think that's another good point, Sam. Like, how many movies have we had like this?
there are
now?
a lot of them.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is the cool thing about the first one is it was a game of hide and seek. That's all out the window
Yes,
on
I
this
do-
one.
I do
one
think
rich,
that-
it was so small. It was one rich family, so you could believe that maybe she could figure out how to best them.
But it was also almost 8 people in the family, right? It was like extended
And
cousins
one
and
maid
shit.
or something, right? Yeah.
So like it was similar size groups.
But man, you'd think these rich people would cheat in better ways than they do. Like you think they would just have guards like at every exit to make sure they don't leave. Like,
But the guards can't do anything. The guards can't
I know
fight for them.
they can't fight them, but they could monitor them. Why can't they text? Why can't they do all that? Like they didn't.
Because as we see at the start of the film, right? Who's the giant guy who played the fucking ape in the
yeah.
new Kingdom of the Apes? The
Yeah.
big guy at the start who's fucking doing all the blow in his box. And he goes,
Yeah.
fuck them, I'm getting it now. He's like,
Yeah.
Satan will fucking appreciate
scene
my
was cool,
gumption.
yeah.
And he goes and he's going to fuck him up. He's like a huge guy. He's just fucking tearing through them
He's
like
the
they're
knife
nothing.
thrower.
And then immediately he gets blown up and Elijah Wood's like,
Because he cheated.
he tried to cheat.
Yeah.
He tried to cheat.
So,
So
but-
if the guards jump them or like block them in any way, those people would blow up. Whoever hired those guards would blow up. So you can't cheat the system. You can't
Yeah.
cheat the game.
I get it. Yeah.
So weirdly, the Satanists have the most
They're very
noble game.
Yeah, noble,
You can't
I
fucking
guess.
cheat in the game.
I mean, they do not give her a weapon, which is kind of weird. I feel like they would have make it a little bit more fair. Give her a weapon, something.
I mean, maybe. But again,
I
I
don't know,
think
I'm nitpicking now.
again, I think you have to go with the satanic overtones of
Yeah.
the satanic lord of this world wants this girl to win. He wants all these
so you
Satanists to
think
be destroyed.
She's like blessed by LaBelle.
I think in the first game that she
She's like
shows
she's the chosen one.
she shows the gumption, and I think he's using her as a tool
Well,
to
and even
destroy these
Elijah
people.
Wood has that little smirk at the end to where he like approves. He's like, I kind of
Yeah,
like, I kind of like
I
her.
think the Satanists have gotten fucking weak and soft
Yeah.
and whatever, and this is a fucking cull the herd, right? Get rid of all the sheep and the weak, and that void will be filled by younger, hungrier, better Satanists.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like okay. So the whole flaw with having it be the 6 families, like what if they all fail? Then they all explode, and then you have to start all over.
Well, because he said, right, they all get to use weapons of when their family made the deal with the devil, right? So, like, that's why they have, like, a
It's like
fucking
some of them
musket
have muskets,
and
yeah.
a fucking sledgehammer with a spike and a fist. I was like,
so
what?
why is the
what
one
year
guy
was that?
using a sniper rifle?
Because he
he made his deal later.
He must have been the one.
He's one of the newer families to the
Yeah.
game, right? So there will be new families who come along and will have modern weaponry.
His whole family, because his daughter used the bazooka and then his son
Yeah.
used the
Right.
Uzis.
Yeah, he has a little. That
They
was
were all
fucking
using
rad.
guns, yeah.
But that's what I mean. I was like, it's kind of cool. They lay out this like how this will be replenished, and they'll rebuild the table, right? And eventually, 100 years from now, this will repeat eventually.
The lore is cool. I'll give
the
them
lore is
that.
super cool. I thought the satanic lore was a really big addition to the film that I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah, I just think the mechanics of the plot wore me out.
Sure,
I'm just kind of like,
get what you're saying.
I get it. Let's anything. Give me something new.
It's cheeky.
Yeah. No, I get it, because it is kind of this wash and repeat. And we've already done this for a whole movie.
Yeah.
But again, a lot of sequels, we're trained to kind of think that.
Radio Silence needs to come up with a new shtick, man. I think they're good
You
filmmakers.
think so?
Yes, we did this with Abigail. We did this with the Scream movies. We did this with Ready or Not.
Oh, yeah.
Like, come on, guys. It's time. Grow up a little. Let's do something else.
See, I look at them and I was like, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, but I mean, we're up and comers. Like they are.
We're the young, hungry Satanists ready to make our deal.
They're becoming one-trick ponies. I just think they're better filmmakers than this. I think it's time for them to move on to something else. Like you have Lord and Miller that just came out with
it was a good movie.
Project Hail Mary, which is like a huge step up.
Right, but again, like, we don't want Radio Silence to just be like, horror movies are beneath us now and go make some fucking interstellar rom-com.
No, but they could outsource their shitty sequels to other up-and-coming filmmakers.
I see what you're saying.
And
They
make
could
originals,
start doing.
yeah.
It's like the Wes Craven. Like, I made Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
Now you guys can make those. John Carpenter did that, and I'll go make other shit. I get that, but again, I thought it felt like they had more to say with this one. Like, this one felt like we won't see a part 3 with Radio Silence.
Well, maybe they wanted to establish the lore, and then this could become a big franchise. You know,
maybe now we're fucking out of Satanists, but the next one could be No More the Bride and just a fucking satanic
I did
free-for-all.
appreciate that this one felt like it had a punctuation at the end of it.
It can just end right now and be
the
fine.
ending of this movie is better than anything in the first one by fucking light years. Light years better. Like, this is where you see that we made a great movie and we get to fucking blow the budget out and just make something so
have the
rad.
body pit.
Oh, the finale of this is better than anything in the whole franchise. Like, it's so fucking incredible.
I like that she took
last
the
scene.
sheep with her.
It was a goat.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. I thought
too.
it was
I like
cool.
that.
I get what you're saying, right? Because all these guys, they suck at killing, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of these are dummies doomed to fucking
It's making
fail.
fun of the First Class, basically.
Yeah, again.
Saying that they didn't really earn anything.
But we
it's all
already
given
did
to
that.
them.
We already did that.
And we do
more.
this a lot. We
And
do
that's
this
what sequels
a
do.
lot.
This is what
It makes us poor people feel better.
This is what sequels do. It's just we're running it back, but bigger. That's all it is. It's just a standard sequel.
But again, I don't blame this movie for not reinventing the sequel. Like, almost no horror movie sequels I can think of do a ton of revisionist, right?
Yeah, I know.
Like, really remaking the game and except for The Exorcist 2, and we all fucking hated it. Like, we hated it so much.
Are a little bit spoiled because we have had some good horror sequels.
Yeah.
And now we're just a little bit conditioned to expect more.
Yeah.
And it's a fun time at the movies.
Right.
But it's not really, aside again from the third act, which we can start to get into now if we want. Aside from that, I was feeling bored.
No, I get it. But, like, the biggest franchise we have right now in horror that's still going is Terrifier. Those movies don't do any fucking new tricks. It's 3 movies of just extreme fucking gore and that are way too fucking long. They add characters and this and that, but we're not doing anything new in them.
I disagree with that.
Terrifier 3, he put on a Santa suit. It's the exact same movie. And then at the end, there's
No,
like
it's
a
not.
portal
Christmas.
to hell. It's the same fucking movie
No, it
over and
isn't.
over. All horror movies do this, right? What it is I think what's happening now is we get so many good new horror movies all the time. We talked about when we switched to this podcast, we'll never have this many messed up movies. Every single fucking week we have them.
Terrifier is a bad comp because Terrifier.
It's not. It's the same fucking thing over and over.
It's different. Here's the difference. Ready or Not is a high concept movie, right? We're going to take it. It's built around the concept.
Yes.
Terrifier is not a concept. It's a character. And so the basic concept of that is like, it's just a slasher. We're going to bring slashers back. And so the first one is very small, very contained. And now we're just growing the world of this slasher and what he can do and how he can basically, it's a similar thing, but it's all based off of something very simple. Ready or Not, it's a little bit more boxed in. Like Terrifier can get surreal. It can get, like weird and out there. And I love that it does that. Ready or Not, it's boxed in by its constraints of its concept.
It's like safe weird. It's like, oh, we're kooky weird.
It's like we built this little box and we can't go too far outside of that. We just have to grow it a little bit and it gets stale.
But again, something like Smile's ultra high concept, right?
It is.
And it's built around a concept. Smile 2 is the exact same movie, just better and bigger budget. It doesn't reinvent the game of that movie at all.
I would agree.
It doesn't change anything, right?
But
and then at the end, you're like,
change.
oh, so an entire
not true.
stadium of people see this thing. So now they're all haunted. So maybe it could extrapolate out. It does not fucking break the rules of the first movie at all. It doesn't blow that out in any way.
The
it's just
difference
bigger.
is that it's a new character in a new situation.
It's a new character,
So-
but it's the exact same
Well, we did get
thing.
Kathryn Newton in this one.
No, but what I'm saying is that horror movie sequels are like when McDonald's brings back the $5 meal.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, I can go get the same burger, the same nuggets, a drink, and a fry for $5 instead of getting the chicken sandwich meal for fucking 13.
Talking about the Biggie Box? Biggie Box?
Don't call it the Biggie Box.
call
That's
it
so
the Biggie
fucking.
Box.
That's so
I
fucking
love
rude.
the Biggie Box.
I call it a perfectly normal ripped box. But what I'm saying is, horror movie sequels. We've never asked a horror movie sequel to reinvent the game. Scream never fucking changes. None of these fucking horror franchises change. Again, what we want is just more and bigger and better. And I thought this movie mostly delivered on that.
I mean, sometimes they go to space, though.
They do go
That's
to space
pretty
sometimes. Sometimes there's
That's
an
a big
urban.
change.
Yeah, you go to like an urban center like Children of the Corn,
Ask
Urban
Armstrong
Harvest.
How big of a change that is?
I
Sequels
get
are
it.
hard for horror because they're
Sequels are
almost always
hard.
built off of high concepts.
Yeah.
And where do you go from there?
And they're almost always built off of, we know you guys want this. You'll pay all the money for it. Our job is to give you the same thing so you're not fucking mad like a Star Wars where we just change everything. You're like, what the fuck?
Well-
so sequels are always inherently, to me, they're almost always less than the first one. They get bigger budgets normally for one sequel. And then they start to tail off because what do you fucking do?
That's why I love Ty West's X trilogy. Each movie's distinct.
It's
playing
that's
in a
an
different
outlier.
genre.
That is true.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, you can't expect everyone to do that. But again, I think did he plan it as a trilogy?
Well, so as I heard it, he wrote the first one, and then they're like, we have this whole fucking town we built. It's COVID. And then he quickly wrote Pearl is the other thing. And then when he was in the midst of that, he went on to Mexico.
Well, obviously the difference is it's independent. And
this was huge.
This, it's like, you're right. We have to give the piggies their slop that they expect.
Yeah.
And how you can
and
only
boy,
do
was
so
it good
much.
slop. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I just want to be a piggy. Like, again, I think it's the same. Like Bone Temple to me didn't do a lot different than the first one. It's just it was a better movie.
Well, that's also like
Right,
the
but they're
fourth one.
kind of
That's
too-
like the fifth movie, isn't it?
but that's what I mean, right? Like they're not reinventing the world a lot.
I thought it was. I thought it was doing a lot more.
The two are unique from the first one, right? Because the world is so different 28 years later.
Yeah.
But 28 years later and Bone Temple are so similar, except Bone Temple kicks the shit out of 28 years later.
No, those
They didn't
movies
shoot
are
it on an
different.
iPhone.
Those movies are those are such different films.
I don't think so. See, I disagree with you on
Wait,
that.
Heath, are
It's
you
the same
saying
thing.
that-
It's the piggy.
I don't even want to argue with this. I don't care. I don't care.
Well, let's talk about the third act of Ready or Not. Here I
Yeah.
come.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so I saw this coming a little bit. So when the woman who ended up exploding, she's like, "I have a proposition. Marry my fuck up of a son."
Yeah, the kid with the switch
Oh
was
my
like,
God!
"Yes!"
I didn't even realize that was the son she was
Yeah,
talking about.
marry my fuck up of a son.
The kid was eating the fucking
and
Red
you-
Hots and
and
just fucking
you
playing
can
Switch.
live, and
care.
you'll be. You know,
She said her lawyers did all this work, and in the book
Found
of
a
Ball or
loophole.
whatever, that if you marry one of the people, the game stops.
It's a loophole.
and you get the seat of power, right?
yeah.
So she does it. Samara Weaving's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to spend my whole life being a Satanist and murdering people.
Yeah.
So she grabs her hand and they fucking stab the Latino guy in the neck and she blows up, her son blows up, whatever. Samara Weaving's trapped and they have her sister, right? There's that great scene where Titus goes nuts and is just fucking pulverizing her sister. We see him like fully embracing
You
this,
see
like,
his-
I'm going to be the evil head of the world my dad
it
wanted.
Seems like that's his true nature.
Right. Well, at the
Deep
start,
down.
he's kind of played as a sniveling
Yeah, he's
weakling
kind of a
almost. Like he's
pushover.
kind of crying, and his dad, is like, "You got to fucking do it." Cronenberg smacks him.
Yeah.
And then they smother the pillow, and like Sarah Michelle Gellar is the one in charge most of the movie.
Right.
And he fucking flips the switch, and he's like, "I can fucking do this now." He starts to see the power ahead, and he's like, "I can be the fucking guy." Right. So he's got the sister. They've got her trapped. She goes back to get her sister, and she's like, "I'll fucking marry you." And Elijah Wood nods, like, "If you do this, it'll be over." Right. And so this leads us to this third act, giant satanic temple wedding. I did think it was fucking cool when Titus came in and fucking killed Sarah Michelle Gellar.
But that was also what tipped me off to how this was all going to play out, because he said that there's nothing against killing a family member.
Right.
So you can kill a family member, you just can't kill someone from one of the other families.
Right.
Yeah.
And only during the game. I think
Right.
they could kill him normally.
So as soon
You
as
can
that
kill him all the
happened,
time,
as
yeah.
soon as he killed his sister, I knew once they got married, she was going to kill him.
Yeah,
I saw that coming.
Sure, but again, like even in the first movie, I don't feel like I was like surprised. Like that's not the metric I'm
Well,
judging
the only
this
thing
movie
that surprised me in the first movie was I didn't think they would actually explode.
Okay, that was a shocker.
And
That
I
was
felt
a
like
true
that was
shocker.
a pretty big surprise.
Right, but like this isn't like a Knives Out series where like
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a
Sure.
whodunit.
I'm
Like
not-
It's not a
you know
true
she's
twist.
not going to
It's not
fucking marry
Shyamalan.
this guy and become like the queen of the Satanists.
I'm not
You know
knock-
he's going
I'm
to get
not
it.
knocking the movie for taking that turn and setting it up and paying it off. Like that's fine. And I thought it worked. It was.
Oh,
good.
it was rad, dude. The imagery of that, the temple was fucking rad. The costumes were rad. She looked so fucking metal in her Bride of Satan outfit.
She did. She looked
It was
really
just
good.
fucking incredible. It was so fucking cool. And when she fucking stabs him and they throw the fucking ring in the pit and all the Satanists jump in, I literally sat forward in my seat. Like I was just like a kid again. And I was like, this is so fucking fun. And I loved every
Disgusting.
second of it. And that's what I mean. It was just fucking fun as shit.
Yeah, when they all go into the pit, that was great.
Oh my God.
My
It was
favorite's
so
the
great.
first line when the kid's like, "I'm coming, Daddy, I love you." He's like, "Hail Satan!"
Hail Satan, I love you, Daddy. And he jumps in, and then the maid, or because they're like, whoever gets the ring.
And the maid's like, "I'm gonna go for
The
it."
maid,
Yeah.
that fucking
Right.
giant fucking Bertha's like, I'm going in. I thought it was fucking rad, dude. It was so much
Hey,
fun.
and then what did she stabbed him with the special pen?
The pen.
Okay. That's
So
what I
instead
thought.
of signing her name, she
stabbed
signs
him.
her name and then fucking stabs him.
Yeah.
And when she signs it, she's like, I can do whatever I want. I'm in charge of the world, right? And he goes, yep. God, and fucking stabs him. And she's like, now I want to be free, and you guys can't fuck
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah, she throws the ring into the pit.
And
they
Elijah
all
Wood
go
has that great line.
diving
He's
for
like,
it.
there's surprisingly little writing in the Biden laws of this because we didn't expect anyone to give up all this power.
Yes, right.
And then it just becomes this fucking chaotic free for all,
That
which
was
was
cool.
so fucking
And he
fun.
goes back to. I love how every time something happens, Elijah just hides behind the podium.
Right, he doesn't want to
Yes.
get douched in blood.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
seen this a lot.
Yeah.
I thought that was so fun. And again, it was very similar, but I thought the beats were fun. The actors, to me, are what saved this movie. The
Great
casting is
actors.
so fucking good. Like, every
Although-
character delivers.
I like Shawn Hatosy. I don't know that he was the strongest choice for this.
He
role.
got some run. I think he's post the pit, right? He had a good character on the pit, so now he's getting some run.
Yeah.
I honestly thought he was kind of a good, like, dweeb.
Yeah, it's just
into,
I
like,
wasn't.
feeling
I
the power.
wasn't buying his.
He had, like,
viciousness.
You
a
weren't
fun-
scared at the end at all.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he
didn't
had a
seem
little bit
scared.
of an Eric Trump to me, right? Like
Right.
buying a little too much into the brand, and it's like, no, not you. Not you.
Yeah.
You know what I
Not
mean?
you,
So I
dude.
thought it kind of worked. Because if
Maybe.
it's too badass of a guy,
Yeah.
True.
it's hard to believe he loses that
Well, because
easy
he
at
was
the end.
tracked, and it's hard to believe like he couldn't just dominate everybody. You know?
I mean, I agree if that's part of Satan's plan.
Yeah.
That's kind of the hard part when you add in these supernatural deities is that they have control over the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know?
That's how David got Goliath.
Yeah, exactly right. But yeah, Malcolm Gladwell says it's giantism and that David actually had all the advantages. If you listen to Malcolm
Because of
Gladwell,
weak hearts.
yeah, he
Yeah.
has genetic defects.
Gotcha.
So being a giant's not always good for you. Ask Andre.
Goliath was actually
He was at a
probably-
disadvantage.
he was just he
Yeah,
was
he's like,
disabled.
he did a whole podcast where he's like, essentially, David was throwing rocks at a
He's
handicapped
picking on-
person. And you're like, Jesus Christ,
And he
Malcolm
killed him.
Gladwell. Yeah, he's just killing handicapped people. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, David's like, Goliath is limping up there, all fucking genetically
Like,
malformed.
it's him. It's that big guy. Get him.
It's like, fuck you. But yeah, I don't know. To me, I don't think of Ready or Not as like, I don't think it's anything other than fast food. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I'm just different because I didn't see the first one as like as
I see,
incredible
I
of a
think
movie
that
as
is-
everyone
That
else.
is exactly my
I
first
do
problem
think the
was
first
that.
one snuck up on us.
Yes, that's a great way to say it.
the disadvantage of it. It was a surprise,
Yep.
a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting
and what
anything
a-
out
what
of
a-
it.
what
It's
other
the
horror
benefit of
movies-
being first through the door.
Yes, exactly. And then I want that surprise again, and it just can't really deliver that.
Yeah, well, because I watched it and I was like ready to come on here and I was like, this is my favorite movie of the year until I saw Project Hail Mary. I was like, where does this rank amongst horror sequels? I think it's one of the best I've ever seen. And I went to Letterboxd and it was a bunch of people like, meh.
It
Like
just-
the plotting's a little sweaty and it just didn't do as much as the first one. And I was like, did I watch a different fucking movie? Like
I mean,
two different movies?
That's my take on it too.
But then, yeah,
but-
you both have
yeah.
the same agreement.
Well,
so I
I
think
think
I'm like in the minority
Heath
here
said
as
it
usual.
Nicely earlier when he was talking about how like okay, so a lot of times horror movies, the concept pieces, right? It's like that's a really interesting idea for a movie, but then like it's not that interesting if they just do the same idea.
It runs out of gas.
Yeah.
You know, you can only get
so
so
it
much
may be a
mileage
better
out of
movie
it.
if this was the only one I ever saw, technically.
Yeah.
But the first one just felt it hit harder. As
Well,
kids
the
say.
first one obviously is a unique ride, right? But again, I think of this sequel as like one of the John Wick sequels. I just want to see more death and murder and mayhem. And I got that. I got a little bit more lore. And it's obviously like a much bigger budget. So that finale just gets to blow the bank.
Yeah.
Which was really all I was expecting.
I think I would have been much more interested had they just gotten rid of the whole, like, we're going to do this hide and seek game and just went a different direction with
That's
it.
why I thought he was going to.
So
I thought it was going to be the cops that she was dealing with, and she had to, like, deal with these families, like, in their actual world.
Or they try to play a different game or something.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking. There could have been a different game, or it could have been many different games.
Yeah,
like every family gets to pick a game.
Yeah.
Like Game of Death, right?
And they all get a chance to kill her?
Yeah,
One by
every
one?
floor is a new game. And whatever game that family chooses, if you best them, cool. If that family wins, they're the head of the table.
Right, like they did a good job expanding the lore,
Yeah.
but they didn't expand the concept.
That's a
And
great.
that's the
I'll
problem with
completely
it.
concede that point.
Yeah.
Hide and seek
That's a
again
good
does
point.
not feel like the greatest choice for it. Like obviously it was fun to watch, but yeah, they could have had a little. They could. I think there was more world because again, the first one also was they were a board game family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
They
it
had
makes
made their
sense.
fortune
Right.
in board games, so it made a lot more sense. Why are these these people like run resorts and shit? Why are they fucking playing hide and seek?
And it didn't even have the game aspect to it. It was just go kill them. And
Yeah, it
see if they
became
can
surviving
survive.
the game.
Yeah,
It
and
was
she
just
even said,
surviving
do I
the
have
game.
to draw
yeah.
another card? And he's like, we're past that.
Right.
It's like, why are we past? That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what if it's like Twister? You know, like there are
Or
tons of
if,
cool
like,
games.
like you're saying, each one is associated with what the family does. Maybe.
Yeah, what is the
Yeah.
family like? Like maybe one, you know, like James Bond always does that. Every time he goes face the new guy, he's playing different fucking games at casinos and shit.
Yeah, it got bored with its own concept. And
I can
this
see
is a
that.
concept franchise. And
Yeah.
it just kind
That's
of
what made the first one good. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, again, because even the title, like Ready or Not, Here I Come, it's the second step of the hide and seek game. Like, yeah, maybe some new games would have freshened it up. Maybe that's what the third one has to
I'll
be.
find you.
I think this one's going to make a ton of money and be a crowd pleaser. So
yeah,
it makes
for sure.
sense that we would get a third one. I
Yeah.
don't know how you fucking do that without doing a new game.
Well, the families are all dead now, so how would they do a third
New
one?
Satanists.
New Satanists.
I think you do like here's like 6 to 10 new families. The last 5 win
yeah.
and are the head of the Satan cabal.
They do have to go some sort of different direction, like whether it's recasting, starting over with a different, like how Purge did it. You know, we're going to do,
Yeah.
you know, explore different aspects
Different
of what this
stages
concept.
and locales of the purge, right? Like to me, this is very much like the platform and the platform 2, where like the first platform, right? The idea of food coming down to different cells and like if you're at the top, you eat everything. You go. It's such a perfect visual like metaphor. When they do the sequel, they try to add all this like post like. There was once a man who fucking said do the right thing. And so now there's like cults based on the guy from the first one, but they're actually bad. And so it's cool and it's expanded, but essentially it's just a lesser version of the platform, right? Because it's doing the exact same game. So I see that complaint. To me, the game was so fun and the cast was so fun. I didn't really falter with it that much. But again, maybe I just don't hold the first one in the esteem everyone else does. I was like, it was a perfectly fine movie.
Yeah.
That if you put a gun to my head, I think I could remember maybe 3 scenes of. Like, I don't really remember it that well. Like, I remember it's hide and seek. Is that bad? I remember her smoking the cig at the end.
Yeah. No,
I
you
remember her falling in a pit.
Well, and you remember whenever they start exploding by dawn.
I remember the exploding when she kills his mom, then her husband turns. Like, there's a couple moments that are great. And that's what, there's this great book, Story by Robert McKee, right? It's like all about the writing process of movies. And he talks about most people don't remember the concept and the machinations. They remember like a couple moments from the movie, right? And that's how most people take movies. Does this one have moments as strong as the first one for people in like 5 years? Maybe not. But I don't know.
I think the death pit at the end is
The death pit will be for sure. But like what else in this movie will stick? I don't know.
That's not already been in the first. Like, obviously.
Maybe that's the bigger critique of this is then in like 5 years, you'll still only remember most of the first one and then the huge
wedding
finale.
dress with the gun, you know?
Yeah.
That's like the shot.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I just found myself like just kind of rolling in the pit. Like I was just a pig and shit, and I just loving my time.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun.
Yeah, it's like when we went and saw Dolly. Like I wasn't expecting Dolly to like blow my mind.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
But again, it's the first time I saw Dolly. Now Dolly 2, maybe I'll be expecting a little more. I don't know.
out of Dolly
I think
2.
I just don't expect much out of horror sequels.
Yeah, maybe not.
Like what
you
was the
should
last
have.
horror sequel that like blew my mind other than Smile? And I don't know that there's one in forever. They're doing another It Follows. Do I think that's gonna like blow my dick off? Probably not.
Nah.
Although maybe that's exactly what
That's
It Follows
another
is
one,
about.
though.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Well, that's very similar to Smile, the whole concept.
Yeah,
is
you like the idea of it. That's what's so
See,
cool.
Smile 2 is just a way bigger version of the first movie, like a way better polished version, with a better performance in the core.
Well, I'm definitely glad we got the movie.
Yeah, it was
Rather
fucking
than
fun,
not getting
man.
it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I just had a blast. My kids fucking loved it. Like, it's fucking fun, man. Like today, we were spraying blood and goo everywhere. That shit's just joyous, man.
We are also spoiled because we get a new horror movie every week now. We're doing a new
what I
movie
said. We
every
were
weekend.
talking when you were like, we should switch it to the Messed Up podcast and do this whole thing. And I was like, we can't do fucking 52 messed up movies a year and then a Wednesday episode. Like, are you fucking crazy?
Sundays we have
Dude,
two.
We can't get through them enough.
No.
We already have Dolly in the bank and haven't even dropped it.
We might not
because it's
ever
just
drop
good
it.
shit every week. You know, even shit like Psycho Killers, like it's in the theater.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mother of Flies on Shudder, like it's non-fucking stop. Horror movies, new horror movies. And I do think we're getting to the point where maybe the horror franchise is just kind of played out. Like Scream 7 felt like it was out of gas.
They're just talking
So
about
much.
indies.
Like, you know, because everyone's like, we need fucking Freddy back and Jason back. And I was like, do we?
Nah.
We got like 10 or 12 of those. It's not like they're gone. They're still ever present in our
I don't know,
lives.
we could use a new version of that. Maybe
Can
come up with a
we?
new guy. Terrifier is kind of like that.
It does worry me that, I mean, this is what happened in the 80s.
Yeah.
Is they over-sequelized it, and then, you know, horror was dead until
Yeah.
Scream brought it back.
Well, because they didn't make, at a point, it was like the only thing that could get those big pushes
Yeah.
Where the
was
big
fucking
characters.
sequels of shit
Yeah.
we already. But it's like, to me, it's the Hellraiser paradox. People want more Hellraiser and they'll pay for it, but the budgets get smaller. Hellraiser just started saying, take a detective story and slap Pinhead in it
No,
and call
the-
it a Hellraiser.
the
Like, that's like
difference-
the worst franchise.
The difference in the 80s was that they knew they had something, but it was diminishing returns because
Yes.
they were leveraging the home video market.
Yes.
And so it was smaller budgets and you know, quicker slapdash
Inherently
filmmaking.
shittier, almost
Right.
always movies.
What I think is happening now that concerns me is they're just taking the same approach with horror that they did with comic book movies and oversaturating it.
But that's the thing. Not too many of them are getting sequels, right? Like Megan 2, to me, is like what I'm glad Ready or Not did not do.
See,
Where
I
Megan
liked-
2 was
I
like,
liked Megan
what
2.
if we made a shitty spy movie? And you're like, it just didn't work.
I like they went in a different direction.
I think there's a novel approach to it, but like different for different sake doesn't do much for me. It's like when I go to my kids and I went to Arby's the other night because we just had to eat something before the movie. And I was like, why does Arby have fucking shitty cheeseburgers now? Like, that's not what Arby's does. Like, fucking, I'm talking a lot about fast food this episode. But like, when I go to Arby's, it's like, you do roast beef. Like, just do fucking good roast beef. Don't give me a fucking shitty
dude.
burger. You know what I mean?
Don't try new stuff around Griffey.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I want new stuff, I'll go to a new restaurant. There is a point when you, like, if John Wick made a movie, there was like John Wick's like now on a beach, like
a
Luke
lawyer.
Skywalker, and he's like, I just drink milk and fucking hate killing people. You're like, I guess that could be fun, but like, you know what else is fun?
that
Watch
could
him
be-
fucking kill his way through a Russian
That might
nightclub.
be fun though, if it's like John Wick 7 and he's retired. Actually,
That might be fun, but do you think you'd get $200 million to make that movie?
but you get 12 from me.
$12? Period. Yeah, I thought you were going to say 12 mil, and I was like, if you had that kind of money, I'm
$12,
curious.
no.
Yeah, we could have hired an effects guy.
One ticket. Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I mean. It's like when you play in these bigger markets, you also have to come in and check all the boxes.
Yeah.
They're not going to let you make an
I
avant-garde
get it,
fucking
man.
sequel.
Cowards.
Well, look, I mean, again, Scream 7, it was the biggest moneymaker
The biggest.
of the whole
And to me,
franchise.
that is the fucking exact defense of this movie. We are fucking pigs who do not want
No,
new.
it's exactly
we
the-
do not want story.
They went right back to the well, and that's
Yeah.
why it was so popular.
Here's all these fucking old fucking dusty leftovers. Like, do you want that? And everyone said, yay. I love the last two Scream movies,
That
which
is
were,
all
by
the-
the way, radio silence movies. I fucking love those guys. I'm so glad. I think they're powerhouses, and I love all their shit.
They're great filmmakers. No, again, I'll reiterate it. I want to see them evolve a little bit more. I think it's time.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know. I just think we're pigs. I think Terrifier is the same way. I think we just want the same thing over and over. When we get something we like, just give us more of it. And I think horror's always been very guilty of this. Comic book movies are the same. Animated Disney movies are the same. When you get something you like, we just want more. And the more you change it, people usually don't like it.
That's true. I do feel like, for some reason, off the top of my head, I can't come up with any examples. I feel like horror sequels have been more experimental recently. What am I missing?
See, that's the thing.
Am
I
I
can't
thinking
even
of the
think
X
of that many
trilogy?
horror. Other than that, right?
Yeah.
Smile's the same movie. That was a big sequel.
You have Conjuring movies, but
Conjuring are all the exact
all
same
the
movie.
same. Yeah.
They're literally the exact same movie every time. And then they have Conjuring spinoff universe movies, which are the exact same.
Yeah.
That's the biggest horror franchise of modern times.
Yeah.
All the paranormal movies are the same. All the Sinister movies are the same.
Aliens.
I loved.
Insidious.
I know. I am in the minority, but I loved the Halloween trilogy, the new one.
The new Halloween
I
trilogy.
love that they did something different
yeah.
with
So
every single one of them.
What
I thought
happened
that
in
was
the
great.
third one when they're like, let's go really weird and make a 5'5" guy Michael Myers? Everyone except for Sophia and Josh Hall on this pod
And I liked it
hated
too.
that fucking movie.
I like that movie.
It's not a good movie.
I watched it.
It
when
has
I was
things
working.
about it I liked. It's not great. But that had the same thing as the Star Wars new trilogy, where it's like it felt like they were writing it on the fly, like they had no idea what they were doing.
That is the paradox, because I'm a person who really loved The Last Jedi. To me, that was like
I like that one too.
that was like finally a Star Wars movie that I enjoy.
Except, I will say, anytime you're like, what if our movie takes place around a slow speed pursuit? You're like, that's stupid.
Well, okay.
That's just stupid.
Yeah, there were parts of it that were cool. I like the Jedi's not necessarily being good. That was cool.
I like the
it's a
destroying
concept
the
movie.
myths. Like there were things in it that were cool, but then they did shit. And again, this was the
Yeah.
beef with people. Like when you take Luke Skywalker and he's a guy who doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's so anti Luke Skywalker we followed forever. They did not build a good chain of reasoning.
Why he changed. Yeah.
Why he almost killed Ben Solo after he saved Darth Vader and all that. When you put in things like the Holdo maneuver, where like, why doesn't every X-Wing just go into fucking hyperspace and
They
blow a
kinda
hole through the
they
Death
killed
Star?
the lore a little
Like
bit.
they literally brought things in that kind of unravel everything we've ever seen in Star Wars, and people get really mad
But
at
that's
that.
cool. I want a sequel, and this I know this is asking too much, because a sequel is a commodity. It is a commercial enterprise. The point of a sequel is to make money because people like the first one, so we
Yep.
know they'll come to the second one.
Yep.
But what I want a sequel to do is justify its own existence beyond.
I agree. I would love to live in. I'm going to do another food analogy. That's why we had Captain Crunch, and then Captain Crunch would crunch berries. It's a little different, but at the end, it's still Captain Crunch. You still know exactly what cereal it is.
Yeah.
And that's what almost every sequel is. Like in the 80s, we got weirder ones, like Nightmare on Elm Street 2. All of a sudden, it's like, what if it's an allegory for like your sexual awakening? Right? That's really cool.
Yeah.
Audiences fucking hated it at the time. And now it's had this revisionist, like now we love it. Right? Friday the 13th 2 was like Jason was a hillbilly with the sack. Right? Pretty fucking cool. Right? And then part 3, he becomes the hockey guy. And we're like, oh, we really like that. And that's it forever. Right? Like once we find that it's the Halloween 3 problem. Great fucking movie. Everyone's like, where the fuck is Michael Myers? Why is it a druidic fucking Halloween mask cult? And why is this, what, we just have fucking fingering and robots? Like, what's happening?
It didn't need to be a Halloween movie.
Well, that was John Carpenter's original idea. It was to make a new horror movie for every Halloween. But then people were like, we like Michael Myers. And the studio said, feed the pigs. That's what we are. And so, again, I think it's unfair to fault Ready or Not for being the same movie, just bigger. And that's the critique I keep hearing about it.
Tastes like pork.
Yeah, maybe it tastes like pork. I don't know. I think we're in a place now where, thankfully, I don't think we're going to get too many like 4 and 5 part horror movies. I think most of these now will get 2, maybe 3, but there's so many new ideas. I don't think there's going to be room for these gluttonous projects.
Like, if you're going to do that, make a cool TV show, I say.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not like It did this, right? It won, It too. Welcome to Derry was fun as shit.
Welcome to Derry was great. Have you watched
It's like
From?
a new little
There's
thing.
lots of good horror movie shows. Right
But that's what I mean, right? Like, change the medium gives you new storytelling mechanics. Like, if they did Ready or Not 3 as a fucking 8-part series, we meet all the different families and then they fight for a couple episodes. That might be
Maybe
way
you
cooler.
don't even have Samara weaving in it. You just explain the history.
She's gone now. She's free.
She's
Move
free.
on past her.
Yeah, this is the new generation.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think maybe changing medium, right? And this is what Star Wars always does, right? They have movies and shows and books and cartoons. And so they're playing everywhere. And then the best stuff rises and sticks, and the other stuff we just kind of forget about. But horror movies aren't playing at the level
Star Wars,
of those movies.
I think oversaturated it a little bit because they have
for sure.
so many different.
I think
shows.
every great idea, right, starts off as like, that's a great idea. Most of these do not have 3 to 5, 6 hours worth of story in them. Right. They just don't.
So
they just don't hold like
I'm
that.
looking at some of the best horror sequels, and these are obvious, like in all of these, they take what was good about the first one, but they twist it enough in the second one to make it its own thing. Aliens. turns Alien into a war movie.
The best sequel of all time. That and Terminator 2 are the best sequels ever.
I mean, it's so unfair to say, oh, be more like a James Cameron.
Be like
sequel.
two of the best movies ever made.
But, you also did it with Night of the Living Dead to Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a great example. Like, we're taking it in the similar concept, but we are... I think Smile 2 did this a little bit as well, as why we keep talking about it, is it takes that same concept but it improves upon it and finds a way to do it better. Maybe that's what they thought they were doing with this one, but I don't know.
They kind of were.
I kind of think this is just a bigger, better version of the first one to me.
The lore, which was cool.
Yeah,
but it just I don't know, man. I feel like the It lore is just way better.
Again, I don't think this is that ultra fascinating for a franchise, right? I think The Strangers is running into this because they did Strangers Pray at Night, which was kind of a fun, cooler, stylistic version of the first one.
Now they're going back.
They
to
redid
the
new trilogy, and people are shitting all over that. They're like, it's like the other movies, but shittier. Yeah. And it's just like, what's the fucking point?
I did love Strangers Pray at Night.
I love Strangers Pray at Night too.
That's the second one, right?
But again,
it was fucking metal, dude.
It was a different kind of movie. They didn't.
It was a different tonality for sure.
It was. They didn't try to just do the same. They took the characters. They took the elements that were iconic. Yeah. And they kind of did a different thing, which I appreciated.
I agree. But again, I think you gotta live in the world you're in, right? And the world we're in is that most sequels don't do that.
I know.
Most sequels don't.
I know. Anyway.
And I don't think this was going to be a movie that reinvented itself, especially post Megan. I think we're going to get less and less of that when you're in big budget kind of like horror genre stuff. I think Megan 2.0 might have fucking ruined this for a couple years.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Overall, I gave it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was a fucking blast. Sam, what was the most messed up moment in Ready or Not, Here I Come?
By far, the most messed up moment in Ready or Not, Here I Come was when the little Asian kid, so his mother blows up on the TV. He doesn't even notice. He doesn't even look up.
Because he's playing Switch or whatever.
And he's like eating ice cream or something. And then he just notices everyone's looking at him. He's like, why is everybody looking at me? But like,
Elijah Wood is hiding behind the podium.
Just to like build on the fact, like how they portrayed these rich families. Like the fact that he doesn't even care that his mom just died. Like that was so messed up.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. All right, Heath, what was the most messed up moment in Ready or Not, Here I Come?
I'm going to take the relentless ass beating that Kathryn Newton had to endure by Shawn Hatosy.
Christ.
I was at a certain point, I was like...
It felt like a different movie for a minute. Yeah.
Like I was, what's his name in Rocky? Like, throw in the damn towel!
Dude, it was like a Rob Zombie moment.
Leave her alone.
Because Samara Weaving's fighting the other bride, right, in the other room, post-bazooka. And I was just like, is she going to... like win this fight so she can go help? I was like, Jesus Christ. He's beating her ass for what feels like 5 minutes.
It was brutal. The people in my theater were kind of like, God damn.
It is for a franchise that's kind of like fun and games, right? Like, oh, cat and mouse, we're going to go. That was just so down and dirty mean. There was nothing fun about it. Tonally, it doesn't fit the movie at all.
Like you were saying, they cut in between to the fight where they can't even see each other.
That was like, fucking hilarious when they both pepper spray each other and they're just fucking punching the air.
That made it a bit more bearable, but yeah, every time they cut back to Kathryn.
That's what I mean. When you're cutting that scene, which is like, that's fucking hilarious. Two women punching the air, they're attacking cake and tackling tables. Yeah. And then you cut to just a fucking grown man fucking punching a teenage girl in the stomach and headbutting her. You're like, this is not fun to watch.
Was she, though, when she spit the blood right back into his face?
That was cool.
That was cool.
But again, you had to do something because it's not fun.
It was like that scene in Fight Club where Tyler Durden, you don't know where I've been, Lou. Yeah. He never got that moment completely. He just beat the shit out of her.
Yeah, there was no release. There was no catharsis.
You know what it reminded me of? When James Gandolfini just takes it to Patricia Arquette in True Romance, just beats the dog shit out of her.
Very uncomfortable.
I was like, really? This movie's doing that?
Yeah, that's always a hard one for me. We were very Midwestern. I think all our dads were like, you never hit a girl. Yeah. Right? And that might be a very antiquated mindset, but it's like, it's not fun to watch a grown man beat up a teenage girl. It's just not fun at all.
Especially the size difference was what did it. Like, man, she's so little.
Yeah, it
wasn't
looks
fun.
like she's 14. I don't know. Yeah. But it was just like that. That's a good point. That is such a fucking mean moment. If I had to take a most messed up moment, I think the obvious one is the Satan pit. That's kind of the big fun catharsis release. I actually think a really sinister moment at the start. I'll take David Cronenberg making his kids fucking smother him with the pillow. right? Because he's like, you guys have to win this seat. You have to have this power. And then he's like, I don't know, Dad. And he just reaches up and fucking smacks the shit out of his son, which might have launched him into beating up a teenage girl.
Be a man, you pussy.
He's like, be a man. And so the kids have to smother him, right? And then go out and be like, get out of our fucking hotel. There's a leak. I just think the idea of this man who literally runs the world, who calls in a ceasefire that we see immediately hit on the news, so desperately wants to keep the power that he makes his kids smother him, I thought set a really cool kind of tone for like who these fucking people are. Like just that idea of like
the elitist entitlement.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like not even like he could find a way to get around the system. He's like, yeah, fucking smother me. Go get it. Right? Like, I don't know. Maybe he thinks he has all these rewards waiting for him in hell. I don't know. But I was like, that's a really fucking dark turn at the start of the movie that I thought was very cool.
Right. And
it's kind of anti the like people in power scratch and claw to keep all the power. Watching him make that, to me, really set the stake and the tone for what this game was about.
It's kind of like the classic idea of a king, right? And you're wanting your blood to stay in power. So it's like it's more important. It's win at every cost for the family, more so than yourself.
Yeah, it is weird. But you don't see a lot of kings on Game of Thrones kill themselves so their kids can get it. They like really try to hold on because they also think their kids are fuck-ups.
The other families are definitely not like that. Like
no, but we don't see the parents in the other family, so who knows what happened with them?
I mean, you see the kids, and the kids aren't like.
I know, but we don't see the old ones. Maybe every Satanist family ends in a fucking suicide like this. I don't know. So I thought that was a really nice ad, and it's a really very human moment in kind of a cartoonish movie that I thought added a really nice flavor to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one.
But yeah. That's it for Ready or Not, Here I Come. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Go see it in the theaters. Please go to Indiegogo, type in Mr. Cream Jeans, our first movie. You can join this pod and do a messed up movies draft with us. Me, Heath, Sam, Sophia, Dandino, Josh Hull, whoever you want, we'll make that happen for you. Help us get our first movie out into the world. I should ask them if they want to do that before I just fucking offer them up like that.
Them's the rules. It's like, hey, it's in the bylaws, right?
Yeah, you drew the card. you drew the Messed Up Movies Podcast card, bitch. Go to the Messed Up Movies Podcast Patreon page. The best way to help grow this show. Subscribe on YouTube. That's a big thing we're pushing right now. Follow Misfit Parade on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the places. We're there. You're there. Let's do it.